Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be making a video, a little bit controversial, but we're going to be talking about leathers. It's something I've been meaning to do for a while. And the reason why I say it's controversial is because, say out of 10 customers that come in, 8 of them will always ask me questions about leather. If 5 people ring up, pretty much 4 out of 5 will ask me about the leather. Now what they do ask is it leather? Now, I get that all the time, and the reason why this is going to be a controversial video is because I'm going to make a statement. A majority of furniture shops out there, doesn't matter if they're a named furniture shop or in a very small furniture shop, everyone gets it from China at the end of the day, and that's just a known fact. There are a few things out there that will come out from Europe, like ourselves, but we've been doing it for a long time, and it is our factory, so it's a very different pricing to what retailers would be able to get. Now, the problem is with China is China doesn't make leather. They don't have tanneries. They're experts in making synthetic leather. Now, you'll hear it out there as PU, polyurethane, die-cast leather. At the end of the day, we can say what we want and call it what we want, but it's just vinyl. Now, a lot of people out there be watching this video goes, yeah, I got rolled like that. Biggest problem is the law in this country. No one explains to people that your invoice is a legal document. So for instance, when I write up an invoice for a customer, when we get to the leather part, I always put down its origin, Italy. The type of leather, cow. And more important, it has to have that word leather. If it doesn't have the word leather, well, what are you buying? Say for instance, it's like this burgundy. It's burgundy. Burgundy what? Burgundy vinyl, burgundy PU. No one ever is going to help you out in a consumer affair case because it's not legally put down by the store. So we encourage you, check your invoices. Make sure the word leather is on there, its origin. Now, there's so many different types of leather out there, if the shops actually sell it. So we're going to base on what we got. We've got close to 50 years of experience in leather. We've worked closely with tanneries. My father basically was a leather technician back in the day also, other than the guy who brought Chesterfield to Australia. And he's done a lot of work for some of the biggest tanneries in the world. So he knows all the dyes, all the specs, everything that needs to be put into leather to make it the best of the best. Now, there is no more buffalo hide or calf hide or anything like that. Everything's cowhide. Now, most of the skins today will come from Australia. Unfortunately, we don't have tanneries. Thank the EPA for that. And most tanneries are based in either Germany, Italy, South America, or South Africa. All our leathers are just a town outside of Tuscany called Nove, where is probably one of the biggest tannery towns in the world. Ferrari, Lamborghini, everyone gets their leathers from that town. Now, what type of leathers we have? We're going to go first with what we call pastel, all right? So your black, your white, your blue, your plain colors. All the grades are full grain, all right? Now, full grain basically means it is a younger animal, so there's less blemishes. And the grain is pretty much exposed. Now, corrected grain, which we'll go to in a minute, is an older animal, more blemishes, more scars, more ticks, and a little bit thicker. You tend to pay a little bit cheaper for that. Now, I've only got one model with the corrected grain. I'll be eliminating that because the price difference is only $200 to full grain, so most people will go with that. Now, as we look at a black Chesterfield, we get close into the grain. As you can see, the grain's left on. The reason why we leave the grain on is all our leathers are 1.1 to 1.2 mils thick. That means that's the equivalent to car interior. So your forward and back movement and your side to side with jeans or whatever kind of garment you're wearing won't affect it. That's why car leather is much thicker than upholstery leather. So we try and keep that 1.1 to 1.2 thick. Anything under 1 mil in this type of leather, not good quality, and will stretch and sag and will lose its luster over time. Also, you'll see with the full grain pastel leather, like I said, it's always an even grain. And as you can see, you'll always see a little mark in the leather here and there, but that's how you know you've got a genuine animal skin. Another thing I like to explain to people, this is very, very important. We're going to use a lighter sofa. This is how you will always get a store and catch them out. If you look very closely, you can see the stitching. Right there. Now, pretty much all our sofas you'll see stitching on the sides and on the back. Everywhere you look, you'll always see stitching panels. Go to a green one. Now, what that means is, leather is very expensive, it's at a premium. If you end up seeing, like it, that it's all one piece of leather on one side and all one piece of giant leather on another, on the back, and vice versa. If you just see one piece only and not this stitching, and you're paying, say, anywhere between $1,000 and $3,500, 100% that is not leather on the side, okay? Because by doing huge pieces across the back and sides, what's going to happen is you're going to use a lot more skins and have a lot of wastage. Hence, a sofa normal recommended price on any floor would be $5,000-$6,000 for a three-seater. Unfortunately, shops won't explain that to you because they say, oh, look how nice it is. It's all one piece of leather all the way across. It never makes sense. I've been catching out stores for a long time doing that. If you have a look, everything is panelled, and that is why our prices are good, but we use leather all the way around. Now, I think it gives the stitching, gives a bit of class. Now, you have a look at this beautiful Nora sofa that we've got sold, all right? The gentleman wanted the side all one piece, okay? As you can see. Now, the back's still panelled, but he wanted a nice curved one piece. He paid extra for that, okay? Now, on a two-seater, he paid an extra $800 to get that done. So, as you can see, the price will tell you the story, even if we go around. So I thought I'd give you that little tip, as that is how you catch shops out. Now, also too, if you look at the grain, it's never ever perfect. Everything is just like a skin, like your skin. Nothing's going to be perfect on it. It's always going to be a little blemish here and there. And you'll see that. See that? You see the skin, the folds. That's real skin. Vinyl doesn't do that. Now, the next leather we're going to talk about is the antique leather. Now, it's a 50-50 leather, I call it, because you've got people that love it, people that don't. Now, most of the people that don't like it haven't experienced the antique wash-off leather. If you go to our video, how the furniture is made, you'll see the rub-down process. The rub-down process is a very old process, been around for a couple of 100 years. There's probably about 3 or 4 companies in the world that still know how to do it. And that is that we get a rag and we wipe it down. And we wash off the colour to make the red and the black, and that gives it the antique effect. Now, I'll give you an example. This is a skin, antique leather. It's a brown. We start there. All the black on top. Then we end up there. Back. Now that is a hand rubbed wing chair. So we went from there to there. So that's the process. Very unique. You've got 3 layers there. You've got your normal base coat, your brown, and then your black, and then it gets wiped off. The shine, as you'll see on all of them, has to always be applied because it is a protector for the sofa on its journey and for the next 6 to 12 months. Antique leather is the most robust leather money can buy. I will say that over and over again because I've been doing this for just on 31 years and I've never seen a leather stand up like antique leather. I stand by it. That's why we give you a 5-year warranty on the leather. It is thicker, it is stronger, and I make a big scratch right here on any other type of, say, normal color leather, you're going to replace it. We would just lightly sand it back and then put the black back in and blend it, and it's gone. Now, majority of customers who have had the antique leather have had their sofas well over 20 plus years. Now, this is a little example. I've got a customer at the moment who's bought this cushion in for a colour match. He's a very well-known barrister in the city, or criminal lawyer, I'd put, and he has had this cushion now for just over 25 years. And look at the condition of it. A, that's coil. That's what happens with a coil cushion. You can't beat it, okay? B, look at the condition. Now, look how the leather has aged perfectly. Now, he's been moisturising it, hence your lines, your veins, but it's not cracking. So if you moisturise twice a year, any leather, it'll just keep on going. But as you can see, it just hasn't peeled, blistered, nothing. And you could imagine how many clients a year, especially in Melbourne if you're doing criminal law, sit on this couch over the last 25 years. The proof's right there. You can never deny antique leather. It looks beautiful. It's so super strong. If I put it in a commercial application, it stands up for years on end. And at the end of the day, as I say to all customers, if you're going to go in and buy a Ferrari, you're buying an iconic car. So you're buying in the red. If you're going to buy a Chesterfield, an iconic sofa, you've got to buy it in antique leather. I'm a traditionalist. That's just how I am. So as you can see, the antique leather, it is authentic, it's real. What you'll find overseas and a lot of other stores, even here in Australia, they just spray this leather to make that effect. Every single piece is hand rubbed. Now, like I said, the shine will break down and matte off over time. That normally give it a few weeks, but it's a protector. You sort of go from that shine and you start to diminish out to there. As you can see with the coffee tables losing a bit there, but yeah. Even on a modern piece, it just looks so elegant, so classy. And again, you don't have to worry about with kids, their shoes and runners and teenagers or drunk friends. You just don't worry. This leather stands up to everything. So it's my number one recommendation to all customers is the antique leather. Now you can see the Premier. Last, or second last, is oil leather. Now, oil leather is, you'll see it in stores like Bay Leather Republic, Plush. It's right up there. It's the most expensive leather money can buy, okay? Now, if we look closely, this is in our oil brown. You still got your skin, your grain, it's all there. But the feel is so soft. It's really supple and soft. The oil is infused at the tannery, so it's always going to have that feel. But because of this, versus say the Chesterfield is going to be a lot firmer, as you can see. And you feel that. Now, pros, feels good, looks good. You know, it's just got that feel and that expensive look to it. Always going to stay that kind of shine. That's the whole point of having the oil infused. Your cons, you have to be so careful. It marks easy, it scratches easy. In its true form, oil leather just is not an everyday leather. If you don't have kids or pets or anything like that, well, yes, beautiful leather. Probably one of the best, most beautiful touching leathers you can buy. Now, to give you an idea of that's giving you more that antique effect, we're going to go to black oil, which has been very popular. Now, the black oil, as you can see again, the same. It's a real smooth, supple leather. Really nice. It's just beautiful texture. Got that richness and that glow. And then you can sort of verse a normal black pastel color. See the difference, the intensity? Again, same principles. Great to look, touch, feel, durability. You're never going to get what Chesterfield leather is going to give you, but still a beautiful leather. Always a little bit more expensive, but with us, you're not going to pay that extra $2,000-3,000. It's only a few $100s difference. Now, the last type of leather I'm going to show you is the vintage range, all right? The vintage range, I've got a few colors now that have come in, and it's what we call a semi-aniline. So, you'll see a lot of the marks in it. It's smooth leather, but it doesn't have the oil. It's a bit more of a matte finish and feel. So still nice, but what it is, the tannery has tried to give you that effect of the antique, but it's more the vintage. You'll see this again in a lot of stores, very expensive. But as you can see, it's got all the markings, all the features in it. Again, the kind of leather that some people absolutely go crazy over it, others don't. They just don't like it. So again, that's the beauty of leather. There's so many choices out there and so many different variations, so many looks. Me personally, the black vintage, which is that, I think it's beautiful, it's unique, but it has to be on the right sofa. We've got now come in a few of the browns. I'll see if I can get you the... I'll be having a bit of stock coming in. Running out a fair bit of stock in the store at the moment. Let's see if I can find that sample. So this is the new vintage I've got come in. You've got quite a few different colours. And I've got another new tan that has just come in, very similar to that, not as orange, a bit more darker. And I've got a few nice new vintage browns that I've got that are about to arrive in the next week or two. I'll have them in the store. So yeah, I hope this video has given you a bit of information and a bit more clarity on leather. Like I said, it is controversial to say that a lot of stores sell vinyl, but do your homework, go on reviews, and you will find that by people that have had that experience. That's the vintage again. Look, at the end of the day, I always say to customers, please come in. We are professionals in leather. We've been doing it for a long time. I've got I have 30 years experience. My father's coming on close to 50 years of experience. So we're both always here. You will get the most accurate and genuine detail on leather anywhere in Australia. You will buy the real McCoy. You'll never be disappointed with our products. So thank you again, and I hope you enjoyed this video on leathers.